So I've been kind of thinking about it, and I make the reference to George Orwell's 1984 regularly, and it's getting to be not fun and not productive. And I think the problem is that most people don't understand the reference, which is a complete fucking shame. But one of the things that I had noticed and thought about when I initially read 1984, and even in uh, subsequent readings of it, was Winston works at the Ministry of Truth, and his job is to act as a censor. Like he goes back and he changes the past to reflect the narrative of the present. And I always thought that there's no way that's possible, right? Like that doesn't make sense. How can that work? Like I could see maybe for stuff that had happened hundreds of years ago that there's nobody around to refute what did or didn't happen. And maybe I could see it for situations like that. And we get that in our own revisionist history of the United States and the way, the stories of the founding of the country and the Civil War and everything else are told. But I thought, like, there's no way that people in that, 1984 society who have seen things happen and know what actually happened would just believe that these made up stories are the truth. That when it gets when history, like recent history, gets changed to reflect the narrative, that people would push back on that, right? Because like, obviously you remember what actually happened. And here we are, a year into COVID, and no, it's like nobody remembers what happened a year ago. Nobody remembers what the narrative was. Nobody remembers what the actual facts were. It's whatever the news reports. It's whatever the Ministry of Truth rolls out as truth. That's what these fucking moron sheep just go with. And if you dispute that, you get censored. If you read from actual research articles that quote and were contributed to by Dr. Fauci from within the last decade, you get your video removed for spreading false information. If there are study after study after study come out that disprove all of the bullshit that's being run with, it gets fact checked and flagged because it doesn't fit the narrative. This is 100% George Orwell's 1984. We live in Oceania, and we are at war with Eurasia, and we've always been at war with Eurasia. And we are allied with East Asia, and we have always been allied with East Asia. I can't fucking deal with this anymore. We are there. The shit's scary. And how do people not see it? How do you not see it? Buy more guns. Plant your own garden. Start a herd of goats. That's what we're doing. Whew. Fuck me. I hope I'm not the only one that sees this. I mean, I know I'm not the only one, but I hope I'm not the only one who sees this of the people who see this.